Geonosis is the dusty, windswept rock where the galaxy's darkest plans were born. Located in the outer rim, this barren desert world is covered in rust-colored mesas and jagged cliffs. The Geonosians, an insectoid species, built massive factories across the planet, churning out battle droids by the millions during the Clone Wars. Their hive-like society thrives in the planet's harsh conditions. Led by Poggle the Lesser and their queen, Karina the Great, a nightmarish figure hidden deep underground. Karina the Great is a grotesque queen who controls the Geonosian hives and has a chilling power, reviving the dead with brainworms. These creepy parasites enter living or dead bodies through the nose and take control of their minds, turning them into zombie-like soldiers. I bet all the people who are scared of spiders will be absolutely delighted at these guys. Geonosis also holds a dark place in galactic history for more than just creepy queens. It was the site of the Battle of Geonosis, the official start to the Clone Wars, where the Republic's new clone army squared off against the separatist droid forces. Also, Geonosis is where the first Death Star plans were conceived. After the Clone Wars, its orbit served as the place where the construction of the Death Star started off. To keep the Death Star secret, though, the Empire wiped out nearly the entire Geonosian population, committing mass genocide. Geonosis had gone from being a critical hub of the Separatist war effort and the droid army to a planet ravaged by the Empire and left in ruin. Yavin IV, the fourth moon of the gas giant Yavin Prime, might look like a peaceful, overgrown wilderness, but don't let its lush greenery fool you. This place is steeped in galactic history. Covered in dense rainforests and dotted with ancient temples built by the long-extinct Massassi people, Yavin IV served as the secret base for the Rebel Alliance at the height of their struggle against the Empire. The crumbling stone pyramids and towering jungle canopies provided the perfect camouflage for the Rebellion's operations, giving them just enough time to plot the downfall of the galaxy's most terrifying weapon, the Death Star. Yavin IV's claim to fame, of course, is the climactic Battle of Yavin, where Luke Skywalker, piloting his trusty X-Wing, fired the shot that destroyed the Death Star and secured the Rebellion's first major victory against the Empire. The jungle-covered ruins witnessed one of the most iconic moments in Star Wars history, the Trench Run, where a squadron of brave Rebel pilots faced impossible odds to deliver that single decisive blow. Today, Yavin IV is remembered as the birthplace of hope for the galaxy. Mustafar is a planet that looks like it came straight out of a nightmare. Located on the fringes of the Outer Rim, this volcanic world is a fiery landscape of molten lava rivers, constant volcanic eruptions, and suffocating heat. Most famously, Mustafar is where Anakin Skywalker's fate was sealed. After turning to the dark side, Anakin faced his former mentor, Obi-Wan Kenobi, in an epic lightsaber duel across the planet's burning landscape. Their fight raged across catwalks, lava flows, and crumbling structures, until Anakin was left mutilated and burned, solidifying his transformation into the fearsome Sith Lord we all know and fear. Later, Mustafar became the site of Darth Vader's imposing fortress, where he brooded over his painful past, surrounded by the inferno that mirrored the darkness within him. Felucia is a planet of contradictions, gorgeous, otherworldly, and yet absolutely lethal. Imagine walking through a landscape that looks like it was dreamed up by an artist who spent a little too much time with fluorescent paints. Towering fungi and massive colorful plants stretch high into the sky. Home to an array of strange and deadly creatures, Felucia is a world where nature reigns supreme, and it's not always friendly, like these mushrooms that will just emit poisonous gas if you touch them in Battlefront 2. Yeah, I died from one of these once while playing. The native Felucians, a reclusive species attuned to the jungle's rhythms, have learned to survive in harmony with their surroundings. During the Clone Wars, Felucia was a key battleground, and its exotic beauty was marred by the bloody conflict between the Republic and the Separatists. It's also the place where Jedi Master Aayla Secura was betrayed and gunned down by her own clone troopers during Order 66, adding a tragic chapter to the planet's history. If you're planning to visit Felucia, pack a sturdy pair of boots, and maybe don't touch anything that glows. Corellia is a planet that's always on the move, a place where speed and skill are everything. Located in the core worlds, Corellia is famous for its sprawling shipyards, where some of the most iconic vessels in Star Wars history were born. If you've ever marveled at the sleek lines of the Millennium Falcon or the sheer power of a Star Destroyer, you can thank Corellia's world-class engineers and shipbuilders. The planet itself is a mix of urban sprawl and industrial might, with factories pumping out starships and speeders at a breakneck pace. Corellians are known throughout the galaxy for their exceptional piloting skills, and their reputation as daring smugglers and hotshot racers is well earned. People like Han Solo, the planet's most famous son, embody the Corellian spirit, brash, fearless, and always ready to take on the next big adventure. The cityscapes of Corellia are a chaotic blend of towering buildings and bustling shipyards, where deals are made, ships are built, and fortunes are won or lost in the blink of an eye. Utapau is the world of deep, gaping sinkholes, where entire cities are built into the walls of these massive chasms. From above, the planet's surface looks barren and windswept, but once you descend into the sinkholes, you'll find thriving, bustling cities teeming with life. The Pauans, tall and skeletal in appearance, share these underground metropolises with the smaller, hard-working Utai. Together, they created a society that thrives in the depths, shielded from the harsh surface. Utapau gained galactic attention during the Clone Wars when General Grievous, leader of the Separatist droid armies, chose the planet as his hideout. It was here, in the labyrinthine sinkhole city of Pau City, that Obi-Wan Kenobi tracked Grievous down, leading to a legendary showdown. Obi-Wan's iconic "Hello there" greeting marked the beginning of one of the most memorable duels in Star Wars, where the Jedi Master faced off against the cyborg general. After Grievous's defeat, the Republic's clone forces swept in to secure the planet. A notable Pauan is the Grand Inquisitor, though he looks a bit weird in the Kenobi show. Don't know, what could it be? Is it the egg-shaped head? Umbara, often called the Shadow World, is one of the eeriest planets in the galaxy. Located in the Ghost Nebula, this world is covered in perpetual darkness, with the only light coming from bioluminescent flora. The planet's atmosphere is toxic to most species, so breathing masks are a must for most visitors. Its dense, foggy forest filled with dangerous predators create a hauntingly beautiful yet lethal landscape. Umbara is most famously known for the Battle of Umbara, where the 501st Legion, alongside other legions, led by General Pong Krell, try to capture the planet. Krell's cruel and reckless tactics lead to heavy losses for the clones, and it's revealed that he was trying to betray the Republic. It's also where Waxer dies because Krell has two legions going up against each other, stating that Umbarans had taken clone armor as disguise. And for that, Krell deserved to die for it. The Umbara arc in the Clone Wars series is one of the darkest and most tragic storylines, highlighting the intense fog of war, both literally and morally. Pluto. After being banished from Earth's planetary system, the Star Wars galaxy transported it over into theirs. It's still the smallest planet to have ever existed, despite being in a galaxy far, far away. And there is a voting coming up in Coruscant where Palpatine is said to personally want to remove Pluto's planetary status from their universe as well. Pluto was reported to be having some mental problems by now and is starting a body positivity blog channel. Get well, Pluto. For legal reasons, this is clearly not a joke, devil emoji. Mon Cala, a stunning oceanic planet, is home to two key aquatic species, the Mon Calamari and the Quarren. The planet's surface is entirely covered by oceans, with majestic cities like Dak City, which is built on massive coral structures floating or submerged beneath the waves. The Mon Calamari are known for their shipbuilding prowess, and their massive star cruisers became essential to the rebel fleet during the Galactic Civil War. Mon Cala's political history is rich, often centered around the rivalry between the Mon Calamari and the Quarren. This tension is seen in the Clone Wars series, where a civil war breaks out after the assassination of the Mon Calamari king. Jedi and Republic forces intervene to restore peace, with Prince Lichar eventually uniting both species under his rule. Mon Cala later plays a significant role during the rebellion, and Admiral Akbar, famous for the line, "It's a trap," hails from here, commanding the fleet that eventually helps take down the second Death Star in Return of the Jedi. Ryloth is the homeworld of the Twi'leks, known for its harsh desert-like terrain and the resilience of its inhabitants. The planet's rotational orbit causes extreme climate zones. one half scorched by constant daylight, the other freezing in perpetual night. Ryloth's people have a long history of fighting for their freedom, as the planet has been subjected to multiple occupations over the centuries, most notably by the Separatists and later the Empire. The Twi'leks played a significant role during the Clone Wars, with Jedi Master Mace Windu leading a campaign to liberate Ryloth from the Separatists. The planet's struggle continues into the Imperial era, where Cham Syndulla, leader of the Free Ryloth movement, fights for independence. Cham's daughter, Hera Syndulla, is a prominent leader in the rebellion, appearing in Star Wars Rebels as one of the key figures fighting against the Empire. Dathomir, located in the Outer Rim, is a planet of eerie red skies, twisted forests, and deep connections to the dark side of the Force. This world is home to the Night Sisters, a clan of witches led by Mother Talcin, who uses dark magic for conjuring weapons, illusions, and even raising the dead. They can also give small skinny guys a huge buff, without requiring him to go to the gym for any time. I bet you'd take that in order to skip leg day. The planet is also home to terrifying creatures like Rancors, most famously seen in Return of the Jedi. Another famous spawn of Dathomir is Darth Maul, who was born and trained here before becoming Sidious's apprentice. The Night Sisters' power attracted the attention of Darth Sidious, who feared their influence. During the Clone Wars, Dathomir became a crucial battleground when Asajj Ventress, after being betrayed by Count Dooku, returned home to seek revenge. However, Dooku, anticipating her plans, sent General Grievous and the droid army to invade the planet. The resulting assault led to the brutal massacre of the Night Sisters, wiping out nearly all of them and leaving only a few survivors to carry the trauma of this devastating event for the rest of their lives. Nal Hutta, located deep within Hutt space of the galaxy, was the homeworld of the Hutt species, and headquarters of the Grand Hutt Council. Nal Hutta was a major haven for both the Hutt clan and other criminal elements of the galaxy, located far from galactic authorities. Its terrain was largely bloated swamps and bogs coated in greasy rains, which is quite fitting as the homeworld of the Hutts, one of the most disgusting-looking species in Star Wars. It's quite clear that they were like, yeah, the Hutts look like they take swamp baths and smell like poop. Of course their planet will look like that as well. Imagine how they could have subverted our expectations by having the Hutts live in super clean luxury palaces, like in Cloud City. Also, did anyone else think that Hutt in Jabba the Hutt meant it was Jabba's last name? That was quite a revelation for 10-year-old me when I found out it referred to his species and not that he's some weird Dutch alien slime called Jabba the Hutt. Like, why is he called Jabba the Hutt? Is it because he's the greatest Hutt? You don't see Obi-Wan walking around as Obi-Wan the Human, or Cham Syndulla as Cham the Twi'lek. Just me having these thoughts? Okay. Florum is a desert planet known primarily as the base of operations for Hondo Ohnaka, the galaxy's most charismatic and unpredictable Weequay pirate. Located in the Outer Rim, Florum serves as a hub for various pirate factions who capitalize on the lawlessness of the region. The planet itself is barren, with its arid wastelands dotted by pirate outposts and hideouts, making it an ideal place for Hondo's less than legitimate operations. Florum appears prominently in the Clone Wars series, where Hondo captures Count Dooku, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and Anakin Skywalker in one of his many schemes. Despite his moral ambiguity, Hondo is not without charm, often allying with the Jedi when it suits his interests. He certainly has a lot of inspiration from Captain Jack Sparrow, doesn't he? Malachor V, a barren, desolate world, is steeped in ancient Sith history. The planet is covered in massive, jagged structures of dark stone, remnants of a great battle that took place thousands of years ago, even having old lightsabers and burned people's figures still standing around in the pose they died in. Malachor V is most notably remembered for the cataclysmic conflict that occurred during the Mandalorian Wars, where a devastating superweapon, the Mass Shadow Generator, was used, destroying both the planet's surface and much of the surrounding space. It's also the birthplace to one of the most powerful Siths ever in existence, whom you can learn about more in this video. In Star Wars Rebels, Malachor V becomes a central location when Ezra, Kanan, and Ahsoka visit the planet seeking knowledge about the Sith. Here they encounter Darth Maul, and a deadly confrontation with the Sith Inquisitors ensues. The planet's most striking feature is an ancient Sith temple filled with dark side energy. The climactic battle between Ahsoka Tano and Darth Vader also takes place here, marking a key moment in the series. Dantooine, not to be confused with Tatooine because who would do that, is a peaceful remote world characterized by rolling grasslands and small farming communities. Though it seems like an unassuming agricultural planet, it holds significant strategic importance for the Rebel Alliance during the Galactic Civil War. The planet is most famously mentioned in A New Hope, when Princess Leia tells Grand Moff Tarkin that the Rebel base is located on Dantooine, in a failed attempt to protect Alderaan. In Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, Dantooine is home to a Jedi enclave, where young Jedi like Revan and Bastila Shan were trained. It also housed one of the star maps leading to the Star Forge. The planet's pastoral beauty makes it an ideal location for contemplation and study, though it has also been the site of several battles throughout history. Though often overshadowed by other planets, Dantooine's role in both the Jedi Order's past and the Rebellion's early days gives it a quiet but vital place in galactic history. Manaan is a serene water planet located in the Mid-Rim, home to the amphibious Selkat species. The entire planet is covered by vast oceans, with cities like Ahto City built on artificial platforms above the water. It does give you a bit of a Camino feel. Manaan is known for its neutrality and political diplomacy, particularly during the Old Republic era, when the planet's supply of Kulto, a healing substance more valuable than Bacta, made it a highly contested location. In Knights of the Old Republic, Manaan played a key role in the galactic conflict between the Republic and the Sith Empire, as both factions vied for control of its precious Kulto resources. The Selkat's strict policy of neutrality, enforced with harsh penalties for any violence on their planet, added a unique layer of tension to any dealings there. It's also yet another location for the star maps that led to the Star Forge. If you visit, be prepared to hear the Selkats talk in their beautiful voices. Jedha, located in the Mid-Rim, was a small desert moon defined by its jagged rock formations, broad mesas, narrow spires, and rocky dust bowl. Jedha is believed to be one of the earliest places where beings came to study the Force, making it a significant pilgrimage site for those seeking a deeper connection to the mystical energy that binds the galaxy. It's also thought to be the location of one of the first Jedi temples, evident from the towering Jedi statues partially buried in its sands. The planet is home to the ancient Temple of the Kyber, where Kyber crystals, the essential power source for lightsabers, are harvested. Jedha's importance in the Star Wars saga skyrocketed during Rogue One, when it became a focal point for the Empire's efforts to gather Kyber crystals from the Death Star's super laser. The film showcased the moon's destruction as the Empire tested the Death Star's firepower on Jedha's holy city, with this moment marking a tragic end for one of the galaxy's most ancient and sacred locations. The planet now looking like a smashed open egg, where you couldn't quite peel all of the shell off yet. Ilum was a snow-covered planet in the unknown regions, known for its kyber crystal-rich core, which the Jedi Order used for millennia during the Gathering, a rite where younglings harvested crystals in the crystal caves for their lightsabers. After the Jedi's fall, the Galactic Empire occupied Ilum and mined its crystals for use in the Death Stars. This overmining destabilized the planet's core and led to a massive trench to open up along the planet's equator. Later, the First Order transformed this trench into Starkiller Base, a superweapon capable of destroying entire systems. After Starkiller Base destroyed the Hosnian system, the Resistance, led by Poe Dameron, launched a successful attack, collapsing Ilum into a star later named Solo in honor of Han Solo, who died during the battle. Korriban, and I'll refuse to call it Moriband because the name change is stupid, is an ancient and desolate planet located in the Outer Rim. Known for its jagged, rocky landscapes and blood-red skies, Korriban was the homeworld of the original Sith species and later became the birthplace of the Sith Order. The planet is littered with ancient tombs, crypts, and towering monuments that house the remains of long-dead Sith Lords. These tombs serve as a grim reminder of the Sith's obsession with power and immortality, and many aspiring Sith have visited Korriban over the millennia to study the teachings of their predecessors. Korriban played a pivotal role in shaping the Sith's rise to power, serving as the location of the Sith Academy, where dark side acolytes trained in the way of the Sith. The planet has appeared in several key moments in Sith history, from the time of Darth Revan and Darth Malak in Knights of the Old Republic, to its influence in later conflicts between the Sith and the Jedi. Its atmosphere is thick with dark side energy, and those who set foot on Korriban often find themselves drawn to the malevolent dark power that permeates the planet. The allure of Korriban's dark secrets make it both a symbol of Sith strength and a tomb for those consumed by their lust of power. Tython is a lush, mountainous planet located in the deep core. Believed to be the birthplace of the Jedi Order, steeped in the Force, Tython has long been a site of pilgrimage for Force-sensitive individuals seeking a deeper connection with the energy that binds the galaxy. The planet is known for its deep valleys, towering peaks, and ancient temples, including the Jedi temples, where early Force users first studied both the light and dark sides of the Force before the Jedi and Sith split into opposing factions. Over the centuries, the Jedi Order continued to view Tython as a sacred site, though it was largely abandoned by the time of the Republic. Tython's significance resurfaced in The Mandalorian, where Din Djarin brought Grogu to the ancient Jedi Temple to connect with the Force and possibly reach out to other Jedi. Being the first showing of Tython, there was some expectations toward how it could look like a ruined site, but it turned out to just be a dense forest planet. Now, as a fellow commenter and average chicken has pointed out, there are 3.2 million other planets out there. So wait for part 3 and we'll slowly wind down the list until the average chicken is no longer average after all the knowledge on planets it gained from these videos. And please do subscribe to my channel as I want to make more videos, and maybe you'll be the next commenter in a video being called out.